This is Form and Space, drawing part 2, where we start making things look 3D. So space is the element of art, and space refers to area. Positive space is occupied by the object. Negative space is not occupied. Static space is something solid without negative space. Think about something like a solid cube, okay? Active space is a solid with a negative space, like a coffee cup. You have the negative space where you put your hand and the negative space inside where you put your coffee. It also refers to figure-round relationship. If you look at the black and white pictures on the right, one is positive space, one is negative space, and it depends upon how you read it. If you're reading black as the positive space, in the first picture you focus on the vase, and on the second picture you focus on the heads. If you're reading white as the positive, it's the heads and then the vase. Some of you worked with this with one of your summative color assignments with the plants. Form is an element of art, and form are three-dimensional shapes. There's actual form, which is an object that is physically three-dimensional, like the milk carton, and visual form, where you have objects that look 3D, like the still life with the drawing of the milk carton. You know this is a drawing, but it's using value to make everything look like it has dimensions. So the very first thing you need to do today is exercise 1, geometric forms your lines. So you need blank paper, a ruler or straight edge, a pencil, eraser, or sharpener. And all you need to do is copy the geometric forms on the right. Make sure your lines are at the correct angles. So remember to slant your pencil and carry it to the angles. The rectangular solid and the cube, you both start by drawing that first face, and then you draw the next one a little behind it, and then connect the lines. These lines should be parallel. The pyramid, there's different kinds of pyramids. This is a rectangular pyramid, which means the base of the rectangle, the base of the pyramid is a rectangle instead of a triangle, and then the sides are triangular. You have a cylinder. The top and the bottom are ellipses, a sphere, and then a cone, or a circular pyramid. So now we're reviewing value, and I know we've spent a lot of time on value. It's very important though. This should certainly be something you're already familiar with. Value is the amount of light. Value scale is the range of light from white to black. Gradation is the gradual change from white to black. So when you are looking at objects and drawing them, as in this drawing here, which is a still life, you can see that all the values are present. If it's very light, that shows up in the highlights or the reflections, the white parts of the flower, and then you have your tints of gray, the lights gray, and then to the medium grays, and then the really, really dark grays and blacks. So for this exercise, you have done this before, and you're going to do it again, because that's what exercises are, repetition so that you get better. Do 2 parallel rectangles. Try to make them at least 5 inches long. Divide one into 5 sections and create a value scale that starts at white, tint, gray, shade, and black. The next one, you're creating the same value scale but a soft, blended gradation. And the hint for this, start on the black side, put some lead down, and then start smudging. You want to make sure that this is smooth and not choppy, and that this side is really, truly pure white, and that you have your grays in the middle. The next thing you're going to do is using value to create form. It can be created using just value without lines. So you're going to start out by shading without lines, and you can either build up values by layering them or using directional smudging. When you use directional smudging, you start at the dark value and then you use a paper or a Kleenex or a Q-tip to smudge the pencil in the direction of the object. Circles are curved, squares and square things are horizontal, vertical, diagonal. And that helps, just like it did when we were painting. And remember, when we painted the forms, if you are putting your pencil strokes, your paint strokes in the same direction that the form goes, it becomes more dimensional and realistic. And I'm going to post a demo video as well. So for your third exercise, you have form with value. So again, blank paper and pencil materials. You're going to copy these forms. You're not going to use lines. You use a straight edge to kind of create these lines, but you create them by shading. I will show you how to do that in the demo. And then the letters A through E are equal pretty much to the parts of the value scale, where A is the lightest value, white, B is the tint, C is, actually they have that instead of the gray, they have D as the gray, and C as the shade, and then E is the cast shadow. So you're going to turn in the geometric forms that are lines, the value review, and form with value. Okay, hold on because the demo for those shapes is up next.